Hello! Welcome to the next part of this Carthage Let's Play in DEI. Just about to face off against the Qart-Hadasht plaque. This will go well, I'm pretty sure. Based on what I can remember anyways. But the old result doesn't look too good. What do you think, Greeks?
Hello!
Yes, wonderful opinion there.
Why, thank you.
And here we are at the battlefield. My Numidians deployed far away as usual, to scout out the enemy position. They're quite handy like that, and I think that's probably what they were used somewhat historically anyways.
Yeah?
But they were light cavalry, so... And of course we've got hoplites all lined up, the Greek mercenaries and Libyans. Because...
Very expensive.
Hmm? Are they expensive?
Sons of Carthage!
You like you said?
They are now getting ready to charge.
Certainly moving and deploying. I still don't know
Who are
what
they
the hell
going
you
up
said.
against?
Going up against the Qart-Hadasht, an Iberian tribe.
Ah,
With their low-level troops, a lot of Qart-Hadasht and levies it looks like. I have Qart-Hadasht also, so... I like them, they're pretty cool.
well, what's so great about the Contrali?
No, they're just kind of cool, those, you know, light infantry, small buckler shields. Pretty fierce fighters.
Yeah?
They're kind of cool, even if they aren't that great.
What's their armor like?
Minimal.
Yeah?
They don't have much armor, they're light infantry.
Riders at the double!
But they're pretty skilled fighters, so... And of course I got my Balearic slingers ready to fire.
Are these your archers?
No, they're slingers.
Oh, they're slingers. Alright.
So they're firing bullets, basically. Stone and lead for their ammunition. Some of the best in the business.
I'd say.
As you can see, they're pelting the enemy. They're probably not getting a huge amount of kills. I'm using slower battles, and that does make missiles less effective.
Sure, with pebbles and stones, you wouldn't imagine they do much damage now.
Well, in fairness though, having a decently sized stone hurled at quite the speed could do quite a bit of damage. Have you ever heard of this? Have you not heard of the story of David and Goliath?
No, I haven't actually.
Bit of a story where there's I think there are people, the Philistines, fighting against the Hebrews. Among the Philistines was a big giant man called the Goliath. And a young boy called David got a stone, got a sling, hurled it and killed Goliath in one blow.
Very efficient.
And plus, slingers can be pretty deadly, and the Balearic slingers were no exception. Some of the best slingers in the ancient world. But anyways, as we see, the main fighting has started, and the Iberians are attacking my hoplites. Fortunately, they're in phalanx formation, and my Numidians are having a bit of a look around. And as you see, my Gauls are fighting also.
Put her down there.
And there's my Qart-Hadasht charging. And here we will move on again. My Gallic spears are also involved in the fray. But you gotta fight an enemy Qart-Hadasht.
Yeah?
Yeah. And Libyan hoplites are fighting.
Who's that defending your territory with all the big shields?
Hmm?
With all the big shields, who are they?
The big large oval shield guys.
Yeah.
Well, the ones with the spears are Gauls. And some of the sword guys with the big shields are either Gauls or Iberians. You have to be a bit more specific, a few guys with big shields. But generally you gotta make my army's a mixture of Iberians, Africans and Gauls. Which isn't much unlike the historical Carthage's armies.
How so?
Because they relied a lot on local mercenaries.
Very dependable they must be then.
Well, they were, you know, if you want some pretty effective fighters, just hire some mercenaries like Gauls. They were often known for selling themselves for warfare.
Would they sell themselves to just about anyone?
Well, they certainly fought for many different people, including many Greek kingdoms, like using Galatians.
So they were pretty much mercenaries for hire, like,
Yep.
for anyone.
I believe so, sure. I believe Cleopatra of Egypt had a bodyguard of Galatians.
Did they not have to stand up for their own cause, though? I mean, like, I would assume they were their own separate nation.
Well, the thing is, when it comes to a lot of these different peoples, they existed in tribes. So they mostly just aligned themselves to their own tribal groups.
I suppose.
So they wouldn't have had much loyalty to, like, their fellow Gaul or whatever.
I mean, yes, as long as the pay was good.
In a way, sure, they often fought each other, those tribes did. It's kind of one of the things that Julius Caesar helped Julius Caesar when he invaded Gaul. He pitted different tribes against each other.
Did you have to use, like, manipulation tactics or
Well, I suppose he
whatnot?
just made alliances with certain tribes that were rivals to other tribes.
That's no fun.
It worked out for him. Anyways, as we see,
Would have been cooler if he had to manipulate everyone.
he was a shrewd politician. There's cavalry's charging into my Qart-Hadasht. I think that's my Ligurians are moving in to probably fight the cavalry.
Who are the Ligurians?
They were people from North Italy,
They were from northern Italia.
but they weren't particularly Italian, you might say. They were very Celticized.
Ah.
Yeah, so my Numidian cavalry's attacking those Balearic slingers. And then I've used Qatari fighting the enemy general. And I'm moving, looks like those Arvaki painted warriors in to fight.
What were Iberian generals like?
Well, they would have been generally probably nobles, you know, kings, other sorts of tribal leaders historically, so they would have been rich and would have had probably rich bodyguards.
Did they have, like, any sort of specialized training that they had to go through?
Well, I think typically in a lot of tribal societies, again, I don't know much about the Iberians, but I think a lot of tribal societies, the upper classes would have been people who dedicated themselves to warfare and to honing their skills.
Because I would assume, like, each of these tribes had a unique way of training. Like, for example, like, I think back to Sparta, where they
Spartans,
trained
the
the Greek
Agoge.
boys at a very young age and stuff.
Yeah, but the Spartans were, well, quite somewhat unique in Greece for being particularly fixated on war, although Greeks were a pretty warlike and aggressive society anyways. But different people, I suppose, have their different ways of how warfare worked. I don't think we can know a whole lot about these things because we don't have written records from them.
I suppose.
I know Iberians are commonly regarded as being fond of guerrilla warfare. I know there's this research paper that I have, but I haven't really read. It talked about how they weren't much different from the Romans in terms of fighting. But I haven't read it. I think there's enough evidence they would have had fielded heavy infantry and fought pitched battles, like the Romans. Yeah. But again, I haven't really read the article. I have it, but I haven't read it yet.
Sure, that's not like you. You practically read everything. You're a living encyclopedia.
Oh please, I'm bad at reading things. I can read fine, but anyways, we're getting a bit off topic. The enemy cavalry are being defeated by my Iberian cavalry and my Ligurian spears, and the enemy general is still beating my 2 infantry. And the enemy slingers are still firing.
Almighty, how many rocks and pebbles can slingers sling?
They have a lot, because they don't just shoot rocks and pebbles, sometimes they even fire lead ammunition.
Lead?
Yep. As you see, my Libyan hoplites are getting quite into the nitty-gritty of the fighting. And there's my Gaulish spears. The Catuiros Lankia, they're called. Which I think probably is meant to say something like spear warriors, I'd say, because Catuiros sounds like it's saying battle men. That's me kind of extracting my knowledge of Irish and kind of this linguistic stuff, so yeah. Then my Qart-Hadasht are attacking the enemy in the rear, and my hoplites are pushing in. Pretty exhausted, my troops are.
Sure, they put up a good defense there. We'll give them that.
Yeah. My slingers are firing into those enemies there. And I think that's my Gothic sword band charging in.
I don't know why, but from this angle it looks like they're more talking than they are fighting.
We have to allow for the limitations of the game and the animations. And now the enemy's broken, so I'm in the routing phase. This is where Numidians shine, in my opinion, is the routing phase.
How so?
Because they're extremely fast.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, it's a frequent thing. I can't fast forward to maximum speed. It lags like hell.
Are they like supersonic speed fast?
Numidians, no, I wouldn't say necessarily they're supersonic speed, but in the game they got really high speed for cavalry because they're light, and Numidian horses were famed for being quite good, I believe.
Were they like this in real life?
Historically, Numidians were particularly famous for their skill at horse riding. They made for some excellent cavalry. And I believe they had a special horse breed.
What kind of horse breed?
The Numidian horse.
Ah.
And here we see the end result. Casualties are hefty, but not too bad. And of course I enslave the captives so I can, you know, get as much cash as I can.
Ooh,
Boost my
money.
income. But yeah. I'm ready to go to the next turn. The army gets a rank up. And my general gets a rank up. So I always like to boost their campaign movement range. Get them to travel as far as they can. And I give them that little bonus to defense. Boost their campaign movement range there, and I boost replenishment rate. This is me contemplating will I continue on the aggressive, or will I fall back. Just having a look what mercenaries I can recruit. Doesn't look like I can get much.
How many more moves do you have to complete before you can unlock them?
Those mercenaries?
Yeah.
Well, it's just every so often that they replenish in a certain amount. So you just have like a certain amount of turns, and then you might get some mercenaries. It's a pool of mercenaries, and it takes time to kind of get filled up.
Oh, you got an increase in rank.
It's for that general there. I was just looking and I realised, so I went to check. I've done it already. Basically me having a short memory. So you see, I'm contemplating whether I'll rush in and attack, but I figured I'd probably pull the garrison in, and I didn't want to fight that risk, so I decided to pull back and replenish. Merge my two Qart-Hadasht units, and I look around to see what I can recruit. I don't know what mercenaries I can grab. Yeah, spend a while hovering around. One more turn and I can get my other barracks. Because Carthage is two different barracks. It's me negotiating trade with the Arvaki. Foreshadowing, you could say, they're not interested. And yeah, I'm just kind of... Yeah, Tingis is damaged. I'm not sure why. Don't remember. Either there was
That's not good.
Either there was a great fire or I got attacked. I don't remember.
You know these things.
Like, you do realise it's been quite a while since I actually recorded this footage and I was talking. By this time, there's a completely different version of DEI out. Yeah, just seeing what I can recruit in the next level barracks. I'm mainly looking for those elephants.
Which elephants?
The war elephants. They're very useful. So just seeing my little overview. And yeah, this army. So what I recruit. So recruit Libby Phoenician hoplites, mercenaries. And seeing what else I can grab. Yeah, you got some Skitarii, and the Arvaki painted warriors. Yeah, the Arvaki are Celtiberians, I believe. Seems they're kind of a hybrid-ish culture between Celts and Iberians. And decide to move her into an ambush position.
He just walked right into the cliff. Not advancing any further, mate.
Well, I walked right to that cliff because there's that forest area, which makes it good for ambush.
Or he's just a dumbass.
Well, that's a female general, and I chose to do that. I moved them there because there's nice forest I can ambush from. So shut up. So we go to the end turn. See what happens next. Oh lovely, Rome's declared war on me. The Punic War begins.
Oh, shut up, Roma. You can't tell us what to do.
And Territani asks for peace, and I reject.
Peace is for losers.
Silver Tom. Higher. Yeah. Also try to do it wrong because, you know, my governor leveled up. That helps boost my economy, and Africa got a population surplus.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I built that barracks up now. That lets me get my elephants in time.
Ooh, so you'll finally get your big elephants.
Well, yeah, but I'm still waiting to get my bloody Atlas elephants, which are the best elephants that Carthage can get. And I decide to move this spy over. Battle Semen. And I start recruiting more troops. And there could be Libyan hoplites. And that's all I could afford. I'll grab another unit of Qart-Hadasht, it looks like. And come to the Pergamon. Talidai. Yeah, that's Pergamon. Yep.
Enter, friend, and speak.
See, Age of Hellenism changes a lot of these faction names.
I have
Galeki.
gain in wasting the day.
And they don't want trade. And the
They're not
Satani.
Are you brave or foolish, or
Yeah,
just
they want to
bad?
trade,
Well, speak. I will listen before I turn you inside out.
but they don't want to pay me. Well, they're going to pay me that much.
People. Oh, that's
Yeah, you usually try to milk them for as much cash as you can. So I get rid of that Qart-Hadasht,
Bleed them dry.
and I get the Ligurians.
That's your command. My lord.
Oh, you're recruiting more.
I'm looking around to see what I can recruit. I'll grab that another unit of Qart-Hadasht. So I'm no longer trading with the Wolkai or Liguria.
Ouch.
It means those factions are destroyed.
Hey, you
Oh,
ever
they are
notice
back in
that your
the war.
spies suck? They keep getting spotted.
Man, I just leave them around doing nothing, so.
You gotta get them doing something, man. Sure isn't that what spies are for? They don't just sit around on their asses. They
Well,
actually
sometimes I
need
had them
to...
steal food. Guerrillas Confederation.
At your command.
Yeah, they're must replenish now.
Mastia, that's where you're expanding to?
Well, I own Mastia.
Oh, you... Forgive me, I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, you see the little white background with the kind of reddish triangle symbol thing?
Yeah?
That's the symbol of Carthage.
Ah.
Rather, I think it's the symbol of the goddess Tanit, which Carthage worships.
Let's not get into specifics, okay?
I recruit my Catuira's Lanky there. And I have space for 4 more units. Go to Gallic Sword Band. So I stay up so I can recruit some troops in Sicily.
Who are you hoping to replace them with?
Replace who with?
Your disbanded units.
Anything decent, I suppose.
Very vague, but okay.
Well, you see, I'm not sure. Oh, those little spears I got rid of. The levy spears.
Yeah.
Oh yes, sorry. I plan to replace them with the Ligurian spears and the Gallic mercenary spears.
Oh, okay.
Because they're clearly better than just local levy spears. So that's what it was. I was, bump up my taxes a bit. Try and milk extra cash.
Okay.
But first I had to sort out some rank ups. That gets my empire maintenance down a bit. Always helpful to reduce it as much as you can. The more you grow, the more your empire maintenance grows, which eats up a lot of your revenue.
I guess.
So reducing this as much as you can is ideal. So I move my spy down further to Carthage.
This time have your spy actually, spy shit instead of just sitting on their ass.
Welcome. Speak.
So I can't get trade of the Galecki. I try Ligurian Confederation.
Now speak
And they're willing to
plainly,
trade.
for we are an honest
So they're allied with Massalia.
Simple. Give me your money or else I'll kill you.
Well, I don't exactly have the means to kill them right away, and they're friends of Massalia, which make it a little bit messier.
They were proud.
I got trade with them, and I got some cash off them. That's the main thing.
Yes, because that's what's most important in life. Money.
Well, you need money to pay your mercenaries, or else you'll end up like what Carthage did at the end of the First Punic War. A mercenary revolt.
True.
You know why they had a mercenary revolt?
Because they didn't have any money.
Well, let's just say after losing the war, they did kind of go to their mercenaries, yes, sorry, we can't afford it, so could you please just shove off? After piling them all together on I think on Corsica or Sardinia, they just put them all in one place and then tried to tell them to go and shove it when they couldn't pay them. And they didn't take it well. They ended up having to deal with a bloody revolt. And it ended in some pretty nasty punishments for the mercenaries. I think some were crucified.
Ouch.
And some got stomped on by elephants.
Damn.
Yep. Anyway, so you see me kind of Empress wants peace. So is he gonna milk some cash off of them? So I don't really want to fight Empress. So you got that done. Because it'd be more beneficial, I think, to be friendly with them. Yeah, my Civil War protection is expired. Interesting, Pergamon had an alliance with Egypt.
Yeah?
Yeah. So they got into an alliance, interestingly enough. At least I think that's interesting. Sorry, I think that's interesting. Here we see the Tusks of Destiny again. Preparing to move out. Trespassing the Carpatani. Sure they're not happy, but whatever.
Sure, they're never happy.
Well, I'm essentially here to take Iberia, so...
True.
Yeah, let me see how many turns I have to those elephants. Yeah. Yeah, that mercenary barracks. I was spending a while looking forward to that.
Do not look back.
What if there's someone following us?
So I got 2 mercenary Balearic slingers. And there's my faction leader, the Shuffet. I think that means like judge.
Your next command, my lord.
Now look at what I can recruit next. Get rid of those Libyan hoplites.
Who are you going to replace them with?
Greek hoplites. Greek mercenary hoplites.
Okay.
Because they are a bit stronger than the Libyans. Now look over what I can recruit next. Yeah, I think I could get those Numidian javelins if I remember correctly. But first, I'll look over what I want to get. Yeah, I was looking over seeing those Scutari or the Sicilian sellswords. So I grab Scutari.
What's great about the Scutari mercenaries?
They're solid. You know, they're good, hardy mercenary swordsmen with big shields. Hence their name, Scutari. Because
What kind of shields?
large, kind of oval-ish shields.
Okay.
Oval, oblong type shape, not too different from the Roman shields a
Will
little
you
bit.
agree to trade? We have much
Yeah,
your
Empress wants
people might
trade.
enjoy, and your goods would enrich our markets.
No, money will do us just grand, thanks.
And yeah, reversing, no, I actually was able to get them to pay me. Oh yeah, pirates attacked. I don't think I was bothered to defend it. Too much of a pain. So I just auto-resolved it. Yeah, that gave me the least amount of losses. I ransomed them so I could get immediate cash.
As
But I
spirits
also
have
want one
noticed
aggression.
that old treasure-
But I rejected it. Yeah.
Well, you lost an alliance.
Yeah, the alliance between Massalia and the Ligurian Confederation broke. Got
Well,
that
that
trait.
sucks.
Well, sucks for them, not for me.
Sure, that's one way of looking at it.
So yeah, now my troops will get extra experience a turn with that champion.
We take this settlement for you, my
And now I'm besieging Carthage. Let's build a battering ram and I build a shit ton of ladders.
none will escape.
I don't have siege towers yet.
Ah.
But yeah, look over everything. Then I moved the Brethren of Baal out further. Try and capture Gadir.
Where did the Brethren of Baal originate from?
Well, they were recruited in Iberia.
Oh.
That's the name. That's just the automatic name that the army gets. See, Baal is a Carthaginian god. I think he's our chief god. Baal Hamon. That's what they often say, Baal Hamon, in this.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I build up that barracks in Tingis. And
You
I
gotta
build a
fortify
military
your
wharf.
defenses.
Huh?
You gotta fortify your defenses, man.
Yeah, the barracks was moved to beef up the garrison. It also upgrade Lipke. Yes, lovely thing about Punic, they don't write their vowels. So it's a bit of an uphill battle figuring out what they say.
It's a great and glorious thing to fight for.
Yes, I recruit those mercenary Numidian javelin men. Which is interesting that they have 200 guys per unit. For a ranged unit, that's pretty interesting. Most ranged units have 175 men. And the Ternatani attack me. So it'll be a field sally. We go and fight them outside Qart-Hadasht.